right, this video, we are sliding our attention down to our hips. We are going to work on both stretching and strengthening the hips, which both are equally important. So start to come down on your back. Walk the feet in towards your glute. And I just want you to bring your feet about mat's width distance and just windshield wiper your knees from left to right. So this is a good way for us just to release the lower back, to get some blood flowing into the hips. All right, bring your knees to point up toward the sky. Walk the feet back in towards center. Okay, the left foot's gonna stay planted on the earth. We're gonna find a figure 4 on our back. So we're crossing the right ankle on the left thigh. We're just going to experiment what this feels like to push that right ankle into the top of the left thigh. We're gonna keep the right foot flexed so the right knee and the right toes are pointing up to the sky, and just find some tension, pushing the right ankle into the left thigh, pushing that right knee away from you. Still stamping that left foot down onto the earth. Okay, one more breath of finding that tension, pushing, and then we're about to pull it into our chest. So slowly start to bring the right shin in toward the chest. The right hand can thread through the hole that the right leg is making. We're reaching toward the left shin or the back of the left leg, and we're pulling our figure 4 into our chest. So keep flexing through the right foot. Staying here for a few breaths. Each exhale, you're pulling that right leg a little bit closer to you. Stay here for the inhale. Last exhale. All right, just loosen the grip there. Keep those legs floated though. We're gonna extend the left leg up to the sky. All right, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna find some momentum to rock up to a seat. Our legs are gonna stay in the same position. So I like to grab the back of my left thigh and we just find a rock and roll up and down until you rock all the way up to seat. So our legs are in this figure 4, so literally our legs are making the number 4. I want you to bring your hands back behind you. The fingers can point toward the front of your space. Bend through the left knee, and we're sliding the left foot down. We're planting the left foot on the ground. So we're finding this like bendy pretzel position. And I just want you to find some rocking of your hips left to right, releasing through that right hip. All right, can you scoot your hips a little bit closer to the right heel? Now, flip your hands so your fingers are pointing right behind you. The palms are sealing down to the earth. We're gonna find a reverse tabletop pose with these figure 4 legs. So slowly start to bridge the hips up toward the sky. The same action as we found on our back. The right ankle is pushing into the left thigh. That right knee is drawing forward and down. If I had a mic on the inside of my hip, you would have heard a big pop. That's not a bad thing. Bridge the hips up on an inhale. Exhale, lower it down. And we'll just unwind. And we'll go to the other side. Come back to your back. Walk the feet in towards you. Right foot stays planted now. Figure 4. Bend through the left knee, the left ankle to push into the right thigh. So we're finding tension first before we bring this stretch in. Flexing through the left ankle, left toes, left knee are pushing up toward the sky. Push, 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 push. One more round of breath. Then exhale, draw it in. Release that tension. Thread that left hand through the hole that the left leg's making, grabbing for your right shin, maybe the back of your right leg. Keeping that left foot flexed, the left toes and left knees are pointing the same direction. Each exhale, you're drawing those legs in a little bit more. Okay, one more round of breath. All right, slowly start to release that grasp. Extend the right leg up toward the sky. Okay, here's where we find our rock and roll. Maybe it's just one big rock as you rock it up. Find that figure 4 seated. Hands come back behind you. Fingers can point straight ahead as we slowly just start to bend through the right knee. We're working the right foot to stamp down onto the earth. We're just taking some rocking left to right. Working into the left hip now. Whew. All right, fingers point back behind you. Maybe slide the hips closer to the right heel. That reverse tabletop with those figure 4 legs. Here we go. Inhale, bridge those hips up. How does this side feel different? Find that tension as you're pushing the left ankle into the right thigh. At the same time, you're bridging your hips up toward the sky. One more round of breath. Exhale, sink it down. Ooh. Slowly unwind the legs. Shake out the wrists if you need to shake out the wrists. We're shifting forward back to the tabletop position that we found earlier. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Tuck the toes, and we're lifting it up, downward facing dog. As we find our downward facing dog, just start to pedal the feet out. Bend the knees deeply. Maybe you find a windshield wiper of your heels from left to right, allowing the hips to follow. And start to find some stillness in your downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. Inhale in through the nose, exhale out through the nose. 2 more. Last one. On your inhale, start to sweep the right leg up toward the sky, finding 3-legged dog. Okay, since we're focusing on our hips for this video, we're gonna bend the right knee, we're gonna stack the hips, we're gonna make some big circles with the right knee, going forward and maybe back. Again, snaps, crackles, pops in that right hip, totally okay as long as they're not painful or sharp shooting sensation. All right, coming back to some stillness, stacking the hips, kicking the right foot toward the glute. We're gonna take this slow, but we're about to step the right foot on the outside of the right hand. So look toward the top of your space as you start to shift your shoulders over your wrists. I shift onto the ball of my left foot, and I'm gonna step my right foot all the way to the outside of my right hand. Maybe it takes some wiggling to get there. Once you step the right foot on the outside of the right hand, drop the back left knee, untuck the back left toes. The left hand stays planted, the right hand comes onto the right thigh. All right, we're just gonna open up toward the hip, into the hip. So we're shifting our weight onto the pinky edge of our right foot. And maybe you're pushing that right knee away as you're sinking the hips down. Maybe your gaze comes over that right shoulder. Breathe into the right glute, into the right hip. Two more rounds of breath. Okay, slowly start to bring the right foot to plant onto the earth. Right hand comes on the inside of the right foot. Tuck the back left toes, lift the back left knee. All right, this is a big movement. We're about to step the left foot on the outside of the left hand. Are you ready? Right foot stays on the outside of the right hand. Big step forward, left foot on the outside of the left hand, and we're gonna find Malasana squat. So we're gonna bring our heels in, our toes slightly out as we slowly start to squat it down. If you have a block or a book or something that you wanna bring underneath your sits bone or your tailbone to sit down on, you can. You don't have to though. Hands come to heart center. Feel the connection with the inside of your knees pushing into your triceps. We're just gonna stay here for a few rounds of breath. Feel that tailbone draw down. Feel the crown of the head grow tall, elongating through the spine. Slowly drop your hands down. Stay here for an inhale. On your exhale, forward fold. So we're straightening through the legs. Rock your weight into your heels so you can point your toes straight ahead, then bring your feet flat on the earth. Forward fold with a little bit wider stance. Grab opposite elbows here, hang out, ragdoll pose, bend through the knees, maybe shake your head yes and no as you rock your weight left and right. Drop your hands down. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten through the spine. Hands come to the shins, or they can stay on the ground if you'd like. Gaze forward slightly. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna roll it all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. Oh, I told you I wasn't gonna stand up. Here, I'm just gonna stay here in this forward fold. We're gonna go from the forward fold right back down. Okay, here. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten through the spine. Exhale, fold, hands plant. Step the feet all the way back to your downward facing dog. We're just gonna go to the other side. Inhale, left leg sweeps up, bend through the left knee, stack the left hip. Take some hip circles going forward. Going back, breathing into the left hip here. Find some stillness, kicking the left foot toward the glutes. Stay here for an inhale. On your exhale, we're stepping the left foot on the outside of the left hand, shifting your shoulders over your wrists, coming up high on the ball of the back right foot. Once you land there, drop the back right knee down, untuck the back right toes, the top of that right foot comes to the earth. This time the left hand pushes into the left thigh, and we're opening that left knee out, working into the left glute, into the left hip. You can shift to the pinky edge outside of your left foot. So you bring your gaze over to the left side, inviting a slight, gentle twist. Come back through center. Left foot flat on the earth, left hand plants, tuck the back right toes, lift the back right knee. Okay, big transition again. We're about to step the right foot on the outside of the right hand. Step it forward right into your Malasana squat. Heels in, toes slightly out. Hands to heart center, 3 breaths here. Inhale in through the nose, fill up. Exhale out the nose, Ujjayi breath. Tap back into the breath. Hands come down toward the earth. Forward fold, exhale, straighten through the legs. Parallel those feet, so rock your weight into the heels, point the toes forward. Hang out here for a few breaths, ragdoll. Release the hands toward the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten through the spine. Exhale, fold, hands plant, step the feet back. And that's it. Hope your hips are feeling warm. Go on to the next video to intensify. We're gonna start flowing from here.